Welcome to the Ad Tech Forum. We're kicking off our first seasonal event called Everyone Can. Today is day one of Everyone Can, where our goal is to keep you educated, in the know, and entertained, regardless of your location. Day one's first sponsor is Attributy. With us today, we have Melanie Eckl.
Melanie is the CEO of Attributy. She has more than a decade of experience in attribution, analytics, and data for companies like TV Squared, Telium, and Cloudflare. Melanie, welcome to Everyone Can.
Welcome. Thanks for having me. It's very nice to be here, and I'm excited to having the talk with you guys.
Melanie, tell us a little bit more about Attributy. Let's give those that aren't in the south of France right now a glimpse into what your team will be talking about this week at Cannes.
Sure. So at Attributy, we're trying to combine different worlds. On the one hand side, we're doing attribution, measurement, and activation for our customers. But this week, we're focusing on getting more education out to the market. We are ready to also launch our own podcasting. That means that we're inviting people to talk more about attribution, get some of our knowledge to people, not only try to talk about a product and how it is working, but really help people by understanding what they can do, how they can get to the next step. And for a lot of our customers, it's about path to purchase or conversion. So we're always trying to support by understanding from getting them from where they currently are to where they want to go.
Love that. And congratulations on launching the pod. It's fun and exciting. We can tell you firsthand.
It is.
Tell us a little bit more about Attributy's mission, just what your go-to-market strategy, your go-to-market plan, so our audience has a better idea of just what kind of services and products you offer.
Sure. So what I just said before, it is more about attribution, measurement, activation. And the goal that we're having is to give a holistic view on the return on ad spend. So how are we getting people to understand the path to purchase? We see that there is a contradict a little bit in the market. There's a lot of unattributed marketing spend out there. We try to get some clarities in the unclarity. And then when we're talking to customer direct, so to the brands out there, they sometimes have really struggles in understanding how to scale. They're at a very good momentum, or they want to have a certain budget for a certain campaign. And they need to justify how can they get it and what's the data set behind it. Because nowadays, everyone knows what is working good, what is working not so good. They have a gut feeling, but we try to put some data behind the gut feeling to support with a platform that is giving on the one hand side a holistic view on everything, what is working good with each other online and offline channels. But on the other hand side, we also try to give some predictions into the future to support them by looking at historical data sets, what is going to work good in the future, and give them data sets to prove it, because sometimes they have an understanding what is working good and how could they theoretically rise it up to the next level, but they really don't know how to justify the spend levels also in front of the CFOs, because we see a big shift in the market as well, where people are not getting marketing budgets just like that. They need to prove it. They need to set a point behind. They need to have a retro modeling for a platform in order to make it work, in order to sell it, especially also in the agency world. We see that just a platform that is working is not enough. So we try to support as good as we can with what we have to support also brands and agencies out there by every size. And the other thing that we're seeing is the small, medium-sized world out there that is very unserved, especially for more complex platforms. They're either very expensive or too complex to serve the market. And there we try to put in some plug in, plug on, start it now by just including the platform like an extension to their current life. That's what we're trying to achieve here with the SMB world. They are more sophisticated in terms of the toolings that they can actually afford, then take the next step.
And Melanie, you mentioned a lot there, and you mentioned the importance of attribution, budget allocation, ROI, and just the financials behind it for any kind of marketer or brand. Why is that so important? Why is measuring attribution such a core focus of yours and for brands in market?
Sure. So attribution is fundamental to tie measurement together to really understand what are we measuring. So everyone is very after measuring every step of a user journey, of a marketing channel, understanding how it is working. But attribution brings us to the point where we really start to understand what is working, how is everything piecing together, tying together to take it to the next step. In the end of the day, brands and also agencies want to understand what's the natural path to purchase, path to conversion, to get the customers inside the stores, on the websites, to sign up, to buy. And if they don't really know the real setup, how it is working and why it should be working, then I think it doesn't really help if we're perfectly good in measurement if we don't know how to attribute it in the end of the day. And the other thing that I think is very important is if you don't understand or don't find the right attribution modeling for yourself, because there's a lot of modelings out there. And I think every company out there should find their golden standard that they can trust in. All the data sets, they don't mean anything if you cannot trust in your own data sets and the attribution behind it. So I think attribution is the key point to take the next step, to really understand what's going on, to be successful, because that's in the end of the day what everyone tries to achieve. They want to have an understanding, how is my spend going to drive me to where I want to go, to closer to my goals, closer to my key metrics. And we see a lot of people still living in spreadsheets from one platform to the other platform. It's a manual process, and that is very painful. So measurement is there, but I think attribution, that is consolidating, combining it, making it more automated than it was in the past. So everyone is talking about automation, but I think a lot of things are automanual still.
Right. And how does Attributy, automate, and how are you guys using AI in general to drive that ROI? Like, could you walk us through that a bit and just give us an idea of what you guys are doing over there?
Yes, of course. Sure. So we use AI in very different steps. We start right in the beginning where we try to support and understand a journey that we're measuring for our customers. Is it likely to be successful in the future and or not? So we were doing predictions right from the second when we start measuring for our customers. Then the next step is that we use machine learning and deep learning to train our models to really understand the user behavior behind the different clicks and steps that we see in a user journey. Is something going to be successful and or not? And then, of course, in the end of the day, we do some budget optimization, and there we use lightweight MMM that's also supported with AI to predict into the future by looking at historical data sets to support growth. That means that our customers can choose, what's my goal? Where do I want to go? Do I want to have more revenue? Is cost per acquisition the key metric that I want to lower to be more successful? So we really support them in understanding, what's my target? What's my goal? And there we support with AI from the first beginning and until the end. And what we're going to include now as well is generative AI. So the AI that everyone is talking about, to make it more user-friendly so everyone can prompt and then they see what the outcome that they try to achieve.
I love that you guys are implementing and just embracing AI overall as a company and just using that to optimize and improve your processes for analyzing the data. The spreadsheets, have the data there, but there's so much more empowerment when you utilize technology and modern technology like AI to help benefit your clients. This actually brings us to the end of this episode of Everyone Can. For anyone who's listening today, if you sign up on Attributy.com and you mention Everyone Can, you will get 20% discount for Attributy service. That's EVERYONECANNES. We'll also place it on all the posts so that you're easily able to find it. Melanie, thank you so much for being here. And thank you, Attributy.
Thanks for having me.
Great. Thank you.